Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Wheaties is great, and so I hope we can walk into any store in the FM area or the Lakes area and find Wheaties.
It's known as the breakfast of champions, but lately Wheaties is becoming more an object of illusion. One Wheaties-loving whistleblower reached out to us saying he couldn't find any boxes in Minnesota or North Dakota. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz went on the hunt for the orange boxes, asking what happened to them.
Not everyone loves Wheaties.
About the only time I hear about Wheaties is if there's someone famous on the cover.
But those who do say lately the golden flaky cereal has been flaking out on them.
So we were at Central Market and Walmart and Detroit Lakes, and we just can't seem to find Wheaties anywhere.
But it's not just local cereal lovers crying over spilled milk. Wheaties' Facebook page shows fans nationwide serving up spoonfuls of questions about the elusive orange boxes. I checked in with local stores. All tell me they're fresh out. So where have they gone? General Mills wouldn't answer questions directly, but issued a statement saying in part, occasionally there are times when store shelves may not have our products, and this is normally short-lived. Here on its Facebook page, Wheaties responds to one consumer, blaming it on increase in demand. And for those of you diehard Wheatie lovers, no need to panic. I did find some here at the local Target, and the Walmarts nearby tell me they have some as well. As for this Detroit Lakes shopper visiting Fargo, I let her know about my Wheaties sightings in the area.
I will probably actually go back in after my appointment and find some Wheaties, because we all like Wheaties. Who doesn't like Wheaties, right?
General Mills says we can expect to see the product again on all shelves in a matter of weeks. In Fargo, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
We reached out to Walmart and Target to find out why we were able to find the cereal at their stores but not at local groceries, but we are still waiting to hear back from them. To read Wheaties' full statement, head to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story. And if you need help with an issue, any issue in your community, call our whistleblower hotline, 237-6576. You can leave your tip, and then we will do our best to get to the bottom of it. Police arrested 2 people early this morning for allegedly breaking into multiple garages in South Fargo. Officers were called to the 2600 block of 36th Avenue South on a report of a possible burglary. When officers arrived, they heard strange noises coming from inside the garages, and they set up a perimeter. They later arrested 20-year-old Heather Bader of Moorhead and 19-year-old Alexander Wilkie for 8 garage burglaries in 3 separate apartment complexes. We talked with a woman who lives nearby, and she says it concerns her that if one garage is broken into, the thieves can easily get access to her garage as well.
That is terrifying, just thinking about how connected we all are with that and how structures can be so easily broken into by breaking in with just one.
Coming up later tonight, Valley News Team's Joseph Ojo talked with experts who show you how to harden the wires outside your garage to make it harder for criminals to get in. An arrest warrant has been issued for a North Dakota man accused of attacking his ex-girlfriend and damaging her property. 24-year-old Eric Odegaard of Jamestown is facing felony charges of burglary and aggravated assault, along with a misdemeanor charge of criminal mischief. Court documents state earlier this month, Odegaard allegedly broke down the back door of a home where his ex-girlfriend was staying and assaulted her. The woman reportedly had cuts near one of her eyes and one of her ears. Odegaard also allegedly slashed the tires of a car that was in the garage. Records show the woman is seeking restitution for her medical bills and damage of property. This week's Valley's Most Wanted is 31-year-old Deidre Taraba. Police say she's wanted in Cass County for a probation violation on a charge of unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on this woman. A few sprinkles for some of us today, but overall quiet and dry. Hutch, should we expect that this evening too?
Yeah, most of us will stay dry. We do see a few thunder showers working their way from north to south along the Red River Valley counties. Also, Lake of the Woods area seeing some passing showers. Again, these will tend to taper off as we get towards sunset, but moving out of Walsh County into north central parts of Grand Forks County, a brief heavy thunder shower will be passing through. Also, western Cass County, just to the west of the FM area. Our western communities, West Fargo, Castleton, may see a sprinkle in the upcoming hour. 70s now, and we'll stay in the 70s for the early hours of the evening. Then once we get to sunset, the wind calms down, the skies begin to clear, It looks like another comfortably cool overnight. Big weekend ahead. A lot of folks wanting to get out indoors and enjoy. We'll have details on what you can expect there in your hour-by-hour forecast here in a few minutes.
Thanks, Sach.
You bet.
People in Minnesota have renewed the call to put an end to what they call fear-based training for police officers. They testified at a meeting of the state's Peace Officer Standards and Training Board, which certifies agencies that offer training to law enforcement officers. Courses offered by Bulletproof Warrior have come under fire by people who say it teaches cops to be overly aggressive rather than see themselves as guardians. The agency's executive director, Nate Gov, has come under fire by Governor Mark Dayton over a different issue after a series of reports about how police departments across the state are failing to properly investigate sexual assault cases. A review of more than 1,000 recent rape cases in Minnesota found that in a third of them, the investigator never interviewed the victim, and 75% were never forwarded to prosecutors for criminal charges. Members of the board plan to meet in August to address this in more detail. North Dakota has taken in more than 8,000 refugees since 1997 as part of the Lutheran Social Services Refugee Resettlement Program. By 2015, the state and federal governments paid out more than $17.5 million in Medicare, food programs, and family assistance. Statistics also show that new Americans paid out more than double that in state and local taxes and contributed $16.2 million in Medicare taxes.
Many of our work employers said without our refugees and other immigrants, we would be in a serious workforce crisis. We're already in a serious workforce crisis.
More than 45% of North Dakota's refugees are resettled in Fargo and West Fargo. Creepy crawlers or medical marvels? Researchers at NDSU are using spider silk as a way to fight antibiotic resistance. The silk that these arachnids produce could be the next thing in targeted treatment. The spiders spin 6 different types of silk, which the lab is turning into bubbles. Those bubbles would be filled with medication and only released in the presence of bacteria. The lab is also using the silk in an antibiotic-infused putty for bone remodeling.
Instead of trying to discover new antibiotics, because there's not a whole lot of interest from pharmaceutical companies in that instead, let's try to use our antibiotics that we have in a much better way.
Doctors say they can load the drug and successfully deliver it around bacteria. The next step is putting it in an animal system. A year of work by organizers with the North Dakota State Fair has come to fruition, with thousands of people enjoying the music, food, and entertainment. This year's fair is not over, but planning is already in place for next year, with 2 acts already booked for 2019. The fair has a full-time staff of 27, with more than 500 people working on the Minot Fairgrounds for the duration of the fair. This year's fair ends on Saturday. Later on Valley News Live at 6, we'll show you the dogs who suited up and walked down the aisle at their owner's wedding. Plus, a one-of-a-kind aerobatic performance you will not want to miss this weekend at the Air Show. That's next.